have guests tonight. We have Mike, the owner of Red with us. And we have Kathy, who is the association attorney. She's going to introduce herself briefly.
Hello, I'm Kathy Hickman, I'm an attorney with Tressler, and I work with the board on behalf of the association.
I think we can establish a quorum. There are 4 board members here. And Pat is ill this evening, so he will not be with us. First thing we're going to do is approve the minutes from the November 13 meeting. And I think you've had a chance to look at these already. And I would make a motion to approve the minutes with the addition of the names of the board members who were in attendance at our last meeting. I think we need to add that. Okay. Does someone want to second that?
I will second
Okay, and does anyone, do we all agree to accept them with that addition?
it. I do, yes.
Okay. All right. And then we'll move on to the treasurer's report and reviewing financials. Sarah, anything in particular we should know about the balance sheet for 11/30/23?
No, it's a little light for November. Just general bills were paid. Your operating is now an FCB bank. The total operating is $59,271.11. Other assets, accounts receivables, $12,089.71, which brings your total assets to $84,883.36.
So is that accounts receivable high compared to this time last year or on a rolling 3 or whatever?
You know, I'm not really gonna know for sure until we get the year end in December.
Just
Some
seems like-
comparisons.
It likely is with the special assessment in there,
Yeah.
so.
So we still have
And the
outstanding
legal bills.
receipts for the special assessment?
They are not all paid in full.
No.
Are, I believe, somewhere in the minutes, if they weren't paid in full by a certain date, they were going to collections. Did that happen?
That is correct.
So they are in collection?
Was there a response to that? Okay, all right. Sarah, can you give us an update on the Berry roofing tour that they took?
Yes, so they came to the association to do an inspection, a full inspection of all the roofs, after some things were noted from the gutter cleaning in the fall. He noticed some things were awry, so I reached out to Berry Roofing to do an inspection. They came on property with a drone, took many, many pictures, and they're gonna come up with a report. I reached out to them before the meeting, and I was told by them by February they should have a full report. They're still uploading some pictures and putting together everything, so as soon as I do get that available, I will send it to the board and probably discuss more at our next meeting.
Okay, and our next item is, any other questions on the roofing from anyone? Okay. The next item is the election challenge, and we want to put in the minutes that we have received a copy of the minutes of the meeting that was held by the members, and we are attaching that to the meeting, to the minutes that go along with this meeting as well. Would you like to comment on that?
The board also was served with a copy of a complaint and summons on Friday relative to the eviction challenge. It was filed by Price Sowers and David Griffin. The lawsuit was tendered to insurance, and we are awaiting a response from insurance as to whether there will be coverage. If there is not coverage, then we will need to discuss with the board how we're going to handle defense and how it's going to, move forward from there. But at this point in time, there's nothing more to report because we haven't heard back from insurance.
So with that, we're going to go into executive session. and to look at some items there, and then we will come back into an open session. We will reconvene the board. So would you like for them to go into the hallway, or would you like for us to go into the hallway?
It might be easier for us to be in here.
Okay. We're going to ask you to go into the hallway. We'll ask you to come back in, and we'll reconvene in a few minutes.
Cameras off.
Bryce, can you take your camera with you?
Yeah, thank you.
As you are aware from the notice that was sent, it was our intention this evening to take your questions and give you answers to any of the election issues that were out there. We scheduled that for that very purpose, but because since we scheduled that meeting, we have received a summons, we now are in the position where we cannot do that at this time. By advice of counsel, we have to confer with our insurance company to see what kind of coverage we have for this summons, and also they will be in the process of giving us advice along with the attorney and with management as to how this whole situation will finally end up being handled. So I'm going to give Mike a couple of minutes if he wants to address you, and I'm going to give Kathy a few minutes if she wants to address you before we go to the homeowners forum.
Hello, Michael Carnahan, owner of Red Brick. So I just wanted, Dorothy said it well there, but I just wanted to reiterate that we encourage every member to come tonight. We hope that we have this turnout plus more. The board sent out notice letting everybody know if you had questions, comments, concerns about the election process, if you wanted an open and an honest debate about it, with people willing to sit and listen and have that discussion with you, please come tonight. And that was very real. That was the feelings and wishes of the board was to do that and to discuss it with everybody in that kind of a fashion. And I find it incredibly unfortunate to be in a position where we cannot have that discussion after encouraging you to come. So for those that did come for that reason, I apologize that we can't have the discussion tonight. You'll see here on the agenda, after we reopen the board meeting, the next step was going to be to vote on the election challenge. And again, no vote's going to be able to be taken outside of, at least to my understanding, tabling the issue. As Dorothy mentioned, waiting on some more information from professionals in the situation. And we're going to have to do that, unfortunately, without much discussion with the homeowners, because now we have pending litigation or existing litigation. Beyond that, we're going to have a homeowners forum. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns about the election, they cannot be brought up in this homeowners forum. We're not going to be able to answer them. So you're going to get the same answers as before. It was our will, and we wish to have that conversation, and it's unfortunate we cannot. So Dorothy already said it. I just really wanted to drive that point home.
The only thing I'll say is that once we hear back from insurance, we will call another board meeting. We will meet in executive session to discuss, whatever insurance has advised us, weigh their options, and then at that point in time, we will have an open meeting where homeowners again will be welcome to attend, and a vote will be taken by the board. So there will be another meeting coming up. We just don't know the timing of it, but everyone will receive notice of it.
So we can advance then to the homeowners?
Unless you want to make a motion to table the...
Oh, well, we have to do that, I suppose. I will make a motion to table any decisions regarding the election by the board until we get more information from our insurance company, the advice of management, and the advice of the attorney.
Second.
Okay, everybody in favor of that?
Aye.
Okay, so we can move on to the homeowners forum.
I do want to mention, for homeowners forum, we do want to respect everybody's time tonight. And we're gonna ask that we keep it just to a couple of minutes per person or per issue. We don't wanna get stuck and or run out of time because we get one issue driven too long. So we'll certainly let everybody speak if they have a question, comment, or concern about an appropriate issue, but let's try to limit time.
I'll start with regards to violations of the rules and regulations. I'm trying to understand why there doesn't appear to be equity in the application of our rules and regulations. I've got multiple pictures, both recent and over several years, of many examples of both board members and the next door neighbors of board members who continually flaunt the rules and regulations, yet those of us that aren't board members or don't live next door to a board member are getting warnings, fines, and attorney chargebacks. A good example that everybody can walk out of this room tonight and take a look at would be the Jurick's house. They have multiple rule violations in their courtyard. I believe it's 4 items that are screwed to the wallboard, and they defaced the dividing fence between they and Mary Ranieri. Why are they able to do that, yet I can't leave my garbage cans out? I can't have a sign in the front of my yard that asks people, don't have your dog defecate on my yard.
I would suggest that any discussion of an individual violation should not be held in an open meeting right now. I would also.
It's a general question. It's a general question.
I'd like to respond to it.
And we have an appropriate prescribed method for you to report violations. And so.
I don't want to report violations. That's not my question. What I ask is why aren't they being
I'm
equitably applied?
Price,
Equitably applied.
if you raise your voice or cut me off, I'm gonna ask you to leave. If you fail to leave, I'm gonna leave.
We're good with that. Have a good night.
So, be respectful. So, there's a prescribed way that you can report violations.
I don't want to report
if
violations.
you see
Not interested.
violations.
Not interested
Outside
in
of
getting my
that,
neighbors in
I
trouble.
find it inappropriate for the board to discuss individual violations tonight.
Why am I asking that? I'm asking it because I'm getting fines. She got fines. She got fines. We all want to know why we're getting fined, but the board members aren't finding themselves.
So your issue is that there's no uniform and consistent application?
Yeah, that's my issue.
Okay, so that will be taken under advisement and the board will review it. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe I'm gonna bring like my situation. I moved, I bought the unit here last year. My garbage was left out first time. I got warning. I didn't know like, I was living in different place and my house was under construction. So I got $50 fine. I get that, I understand, like it was my fault, like I did not review the rules. But the second time I got $150 fine for leaving my garbage out, which I sent a letter with explanation that I was working overnight and I couldn't, I left in the evening, day before, in the evening garbage, and I came like 24 hours left later, and because I was new in the community, I had no one phone number, or I couldn't ask anyone to move this garbage can inside my garage. So I was advised that I supposed to ask board for a hearing, which I did. I sent an email, please, I would like to have hearing on the next meeting. No response, I was ignored. And I had 200 fine sitting on my account.
Anya, you did come to a meeting and you were scheduled for a hearing, and because the meeting went so long, you did not stay, and we suggested that you come and schedule another meeting. And I personally said that if you needed help getting your garbage cans in, that I would do it for you. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
It was that day you said
And
like,
if
I had
you-
to schedule the next meeting, which I did, but I did not get response. We can check the.
Okay,
if I
but
get
if you
response.
schedule it, you will have a hearing, and I think because you're new, and because you were moving in, and there were lots of different reasons for you to leave your garbage cans out.
Well,
I think
I
you get a
think we
fair
can talk
hearing.
about the specifics of individual stuff in a
Yes.
hearing.
I
Make sure that you
talked
receive
to
a
the
request.
guy who was before, what was his name? Nate. I talked to him a couple times, I sent a couple emails regarding that.
Sure,
I
but
sent
so
a letter.
the only important thing here, I think, is that you said, and nothing was done about it. When Dorothy says no, a hearing was scheduled and it ran out of time.
But
and
I
we left the
wasn't
meeting
even
without it,
notified
so-
that the.
You were there,
So what we'll do is we'll make sure that
So,
you get.
yes, we'll make
How
sure.
I'll know, like.
We
if
understand
the
that you're
hearing
requesting
was-
hearing, we will get you communication about your hearing date.
Okay, then I think it was like misunderstanding of lacking the communication, because I got no information that.
Thank you.
I would like to know what the board's policy is. If mistakes are made, is there enough humility by the board to admit that mistakes are made and to make a decision without consulting insurance companies or lawyers?
Are you talking about the election, sir?
I'm not able to bring up the election. I'm asking what the policy is about if mistakes are made. What is the policy of the board if mistakes are made? Can a right be wrong?
I
Can
think,
that be admitted? Don't interrupt me, please.
of course.
The policy of the board, if the board makes mistakes, such as some of the things that we've already talked about, what's the policy of the board to be able to make a decision independent of consulting an insurance company or an attorney if it can avoid additional costs that will be a burden to the homeowners?
Can I try that one? First
Our
of all,
park district will be closing in 15 minutes. Thank you.
we're always ready to talk about things that went wrong.
Mhm.
But when somebody files a lawsuit, we basically are told, we can't talk about it now. I don't like it either, you know.
You could have come to the homeowners association
Well, you know what?
membership meeting
All right.
where it was openly discussed, but
Wait,
nobody
wait,
on the
wait,
board
wait.
decided
That
to
was
come
about
to
the
that.
election, it was openly discussed.
Pardon me?
Election money.
Excuse me, I would like to finish.
Everybody was invited to that, but
I would
there's
like
not a
to
single board
finish.
member that chose to come to that. And that's where it was openly discussed and recorded. You have the minutes of everybody that discussed. You can even watch a video of what was discussed.
And I did
So you
watch
don't
your
need to have another
video.
discussion, you don't need to have another discussion about it.
I was gonna say, I can't.
You can't talk here, by the way. Are you on the deed now? What? What did you say?
Lower your
All
voice.
right, hey,
This man can't even speak, he's not on the deed here.
take it easy.
He's not on the deed.
You just swore it.
What?
Did you just swear it?
Yeah, you just swore at me.
I did.
Yeah, I got on video right here, the camera's pointing to the back of your head.
Good.
I'm done, I just want to know what the policy of the board
Okay,
is.
and
Is there enough
I'm
humility there?
trying to answer, but you
Yeah.
keep
Go
talking.
ahead.
So, basically saying the same thing. One of my questions is, okay, so I didn't go to the December 19th board meeting. I'm really sorry, folks. December 19th happens to be the day I came into the world. And I had better offer that night. It's 6 days before Christmas. All of these complaints seem to come in right before Thanksgiving, right before Christmas, right before New Year's. I don't know what you people do on your holidays, but I.
Right after the illegal election.
It's not your turn. It's not your turn. So, in answer to your question, you know, are we willing to right wrongs? Yeah, I think we are. I think we've waived plenty of fines for people who follow procedure. You know, some things are more egregious than other. I'll happily paint over my little mural that you claim defaced my property, but I will point out that what I have done in my courtyard is not visible on the street or on the golf course side, as are broken windows and other serious things.
So who decides what is important and what isn't?
I guess,
I don't think we should talk about
Who decides that?
violations in an open budget.
So who decides that?
And, I'm sorry? Wait, again, I think I was pretty honest about it. We were here for a board meeting to take care of board business, of which I believe the biggest agenda item was to discuss the election. And it's very unfortunate that we received a summons which ties our hands. It would be against the advice of counsel and against best practice for us to talk openly when we have a pending litigation. So I'm sorry?
Why did you call a meeting? You had all
The meeting was called and the agenda was created ahead of this. You have to listen to what I was saying. We wanted an open and honest discussion with all of the residents here. We brought the notes from the other meeting. In fact, we would have preferred versus getting the petition for a meeting called to say, hey, we have questions, comments, concerns, we want to talk to the board.
It was on the
This
19th.
board
It was on the
has
19th.
never, in my experience, said that they were unwilling to talk about the topic. So when we heard that the owners' meeting was happening, we said, look, we have a meeting scheduled on the 8th, we want to talk about it on the 8th. When the other meeting went on, fine, we brought the minutes. They incorporated the minutes tonight into this. Nobody's trying to hide or walk away from anything. They wanted the open conversation. Other parties chose not to wait. We received the summons, we cannot have a discussion. We weren't going to not have the meeting, but that's as far as we could take it on that issue. If you'd like,
There were
you.
other things on the agenda, Mary. There were other items on the agenda. It wasn't just the elections.
So yeah, is there any other homeowner forum issues? Yes.
For Janet.
I have a leak in my field. Is that just, do I just email the HOA or?
Well, yeah, you can, Frederick, you can hit up, do you have Sarah's contact information?
Yes.
Okay, if you contact Sarah tomorrow, she'll help you with that. Anybody else?
Yeah, you know what, Michael, you're bringing this up about this meeting. These four people here apparently voted not to come to the December 19th.
That's not a vote.
But that's an owner's meeting.
Whoa,
Board members
whoa,
don't-
whoa, whoa, whoa. It's an owners meeting, they're all owners.
Sure, and
So-
they opted not to come, as owners. Not
What
as-
you're talking, I mean, that is ridiculous.
Why?
Are
It was an
Are
owner's
you
meeting.
kidding? This is an attorney? You're an association attorney?
Absolutely
Oh
I
my
am, and
God.
I've been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
It was an owners meeting. They would have come as owners. They opted not to come as owners. They did not need to attend as board.
That would have resolved, that's where you would have discussed the whole thing. And by
No,
the
it's
way-
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's why you
An
have a
owners
members meeting.
Hold on. An owners meeting is called for owners to meet and discuss. A board meeting is where the board meets to vote on issues that the membership brings to their attention.
This could have been avoided. Everything you were talking about could have been avoided
Sure,
had they
it could
attended.
have. You know why?
Why?
It could have been avoided. If you hadn't filed a lawsuit, we would have all been here tonight. and
We
would all
filed the
know-
lawsuit because they didn't come to the 19th. That's why we filed it, because they told us it was inconsequential.
On
They
the
told us our
19th
concerns are inconsequential.
Give me a minute. On the 19th, there would have been no vote. There would have been no vote because there was no board meeting. And voting happens only at board meetings. It does not happen
This
at
doesn't get
owners'
voted on
meetings.
anyways. The board can't vote to redo the election.
Yes, they
No,
could
they
have.
can't. Dorothy and Janice need to acquiesce to our demand, and that's the end of it. Then we have a new election.
That's not the way it would have occurred.
There's nothing in the statute and our declaration providing for how you contest an election.
No, the
Right.
law provides for it, how you contest an
Yeah.
election. You're absolutely correct on
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
And you opted to do that.
Yes.
Because they didn't come to the 19th meeting.
No, it has nothing to do with the fact that they didn't come to the meeting on the 19th.
Oh, yeah.
You can choose to believe that, but that is not what happened.
That's your opinion. It's your opinion.
Okay,
A third of us attended and thought otherwise.
great. And then your job was to petition the board and ask the board to hold a new election. That did not
We did
occur.
tell them. We asked them. Dave wrote them an email to that exact point. They ignored it. They told us our concerns are inconsequential.
No, the meeting was scheduled for the 8th
Inconsequential.
of January, and it was on the agenda for
No,
this
no,
evening.
I know.
Alicia, go ahead.
I have an unrelated question.
Good.
If I wanted to propose a playground, I don't know how to do that. There are a lot of kids in our complex now, so I was just wondering, is it possible to explore a playground?
Where?
I'm not even sure where we will put it, but I'm just curious to see if that's even possible. I don't know if the concrete platform.
Probably the DHOA, the Master Association might be the best place to start. And they meet the third Monday of every month in the high rise. Actually, next Monday, they meet on the 15th.
Is it at the same time in the?
It's at 7 and it's in the high rise.
It's not really a good way to walk things too, because the yours is apart.
I think that number has a question.
Yeah, do we have a question, Beth?
Yes, I have question and actually problem complaint with our communication. The Stalker project was generated, and everyone was putting fact that we are doing that without consulting, without letting owners to know about it. We complained about it, and board said we'll learn it. Then, right after that, in the end of November, after our meeting in November, email coming like today, drone will be flying around your houses to take pictures. Really? This is communication. 10 a.m. when I am at work, I am reading this email. Why you are not letting us know at least a week before, 10 days before? Are you learning on communication, or you are not learning at all? And you are going to continue put us in fact that this is what's going on today during the day when you are at work and you cannot be present. Am I clear, or I have to rephrase it?
Well, I was instructed by Barry Roofing early one morning, and I e-blasted it 5 minutes after I got the email that they were coming, because the weather was perfect, there was no wind, and they have to come when they could come.
We have forecast for at least 7 days. We can plan it, right?
I don't
This
know.
is not way how to communicate.
Drones are very
It's same
expensive and they're very
like
weather
hacker.
temperamental.
Now
so-
you will be generating another special
Our
assistant,
partnership will be
just
closing
putting
in
us
5
in
minutes.
front of
Please
some
make your way
fact.
towards our exit. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
got your email about the drone. I didn't understand what the issue was. We just wanted to make sure that if you saw something flying that we weren't spying on you, that it was Barry Roofing doing,
Yeah, but I
taking
want to know that
pictures.
something is flying. I want to be ready for this. Somehow, at least a day before. No, it's not strange. It is not strange. This is actually, I can lawsuit you that you are flying the drone in front above of my house, notifying me an hour before that when I am at work.
All right, I'll let Barry Roofing know that we're gonna need more time next time.
We need more and better communication, please.
Okay.
This is not way, and you are there for years. These board members, by my understanding, you are there for years, and you still didn't learn that we need more, better communication. We're all human here, you know, we're homeowners here.
And it's a volunteer board who does try to communicate, and communication goes both ways. So while it could be improved, I suggest it can be improved from that end and from this end.
And it was actually our intention. We listened to you because you did complain about communication, and we have been listening to you. And it is our intention to do better at communicating.
Please,
than
do
we have
better,
in the past.
please.
But we have to have
Yeah, no.
opportunity to do it, and we've only been elected for 2 months, and
Come
we've
on,
been dealing
guys,
with a whole
no,
lot of
not
things.
just 2 months, you are there sitting for 10 years.
And I said, going forward, we have to plan to communicate better,
Okay.
because we realize that that is an issue.
It is huge issue.
No, I got fined on alleged obstructing a meeting at the October 10th meeting.
Hey Dave, we're not gonna talk about individual, no,
Carmen, it's not, it's they run this thing, not you.
we're not gonna discuss
No.
individual.
I'm discussing my own, and I'm out, I don't mind all
But
these
we're
people.
not-
We're not waiving
We
privilege.
are not waiving privilege
We have the
on
right. It's
discussing your
mutual.
issues, your
You don't
personal
wanna,
issues.
you don't, well, first of
These are your
all,
personal
It will be,
issues.
you will
They're
have
not
a
board-
hearing, you will receive notice of a hearing date and time, and you will get the
well, I've been gone for
opportunity.
3 months now.
We will schedule it by Zoom for you.
May, I guess it would be May,
Then, we'll wait till May.
yeah. But
If you'd like it to be in person, we'll wait
you
till
don't
you're
want
back.
to sit there and listen, I mean, you want to go
No,
into
it needs to
executive
be done.
session, you
Yes.
have all these people.
Dave,
which-
you're very much aware that things discussed in executive session are not supposed to be discussed in a board meeting. That is an executive session problem, not a board problem.
Well, it's meant to protect the unit owner.
And it's meant to
It's
protect
not-
us as well.
And I'm saying I'm willing to waive it and have all these people.
But the
be
board is
there.
not, so it needs to be a mutual waiver, and there is no mutual waiver. So it will be discussed in executive session.
There's the communication.
Will you
Proper
be putting the
communication.
roof report on the patient
portal when it becomes available?
We don't.
Patient.
Patient portal.
Yeah.
Patient portal.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah. We knew what you meant.
That's good.
The blood pressure for the whole community.
Any report or any contract that, that we have, we will definitely put on the portal for you.
Thank
Of
you.
course, I'll give you updates in the next meeting as soon as we get anything, so.
Not just put on portal, email us, because we are not
Yeah.
getting
That
in
is
a
emailing.
portal for every time.
That
This
sounds
is where I
good.
say communication's gonna have to work on both ends. If we put communication under the portal, that's gonna have to be something that you can check and take a look at.
Do you know how to get on the portal and do it? Because I'd be happy to show you.
I have portal, and I have problem with this portal actually. But if you put something today, then something going to happen tomorrow, and I was on a portal yesterday, I'm not getting on a portal every day.
How often are you and Sarah communicating right now?
I would like communication by email,
How
not
often
only
do you think
portal.
your email communications are with Sarah right now?
Whenever something happens, just
Do you
email
think
us.
it's close to daily right now?
I don't know. I'm
Would you
just
guys
asking you to
several
communicate
times a
with
week?
us, because we choose you.
I understand.
So,
Many
please
times,
communicate
many
with us.
times a week, are you emailing back and forth with Sarah?
If I need to go,
Okay.
communicate with Sarah, I will email
My
with
point
Sarah.
is, yes, communication can get better. It needs to get better on both ends. If you're already currently emailing several times a week, if not daily, with the manager, and she's being responsive to that, I think that should be noted as pretty excellent communication and response time for you.
This is
So then
personal
our
and
ask of you-
one-on-one communication.
Our
But when
ask of
something
you is that
happens-
if we put documents
No,
online
when-
that you want to view, that you can go online and access.
When something happening for interest of all owners, it has to be emailed. Not just put on a portal and forget
To your
about it.
email. If something comes up, we always e-blast the whole community, which is an email.
Email,
It comes
yes,
through
email.
your red, yeah, but nothing's really been happening other than the drone and.
And I really thank you for all your fast, quick, whatever
Great.
synonyms are.
Thank you, right?
Yes,
I'd love to hear that, thank you.
yes, yeah. When there is something good, I always.
Please reach out anytime, okay? Please reach out.
All right. Motion to adjourn. Dorothy, do you want to motion to adjourn?
We're making a motion to adjourn the meeting. Second.